But they have these liveries on hand now, like the graphics. So they could just slap them on a new release, you know?
A few moments later.
So 180SX comes back to basics.
Any AcceleReece fan right here?
Yeah!
Yay! Okay, 2. Nice. Okay, 3. Right.
Yeah.
Teku Deora II.
Yep.
Yeah, in case you can't get the NFT, here's your second chance.
At long last, finally, after 20 long years, AcceleReece is back on the pegs. And you can get one. Have you ever heard of the Bionicle Dream? It's a phenomenon within the Bionicle fandom where Bionicle fans all have the same collective experience of having dreams where Bionicles are back on the shelves. But they're not the original ones, they have like a modern update to them. The Bionicle fans think that this phenomenon is exclusive to them, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. Because Hot Wheels AcceleReece's fans, they have the same kinds of dreams. I've spoken to a lot of people in the AcceleReece's fandom who've had these sorts of dreams, and I myself have had them. The cool thing about this new Teku Deora II that's coming out is that this time, you don't have to wake up. Howdy ho guys, it's AcceleReece again. It sure is nice to be talking about something that isn't making me angry and that we can all be excited about. I know Vulcan kind of beat me to the punch on this one again, but that's not going to stop me from talking about this. So as you know, I made that big long video talking about the whole NFT thing and what went wrong with it and what the future of AcceleReecers might be. And in that video I talked about, hey, they got the graphics now, they could just slap them on a new release, and hours after I uploaded that video, at the Hot Wheels Nationals Convention in Atlanta, they announced a Deora 2 and a Deora 3 in the Teku livery for the Then and Now series in the mainline. Talk about crazy timing, a roller coaster of emotions.
Now we have to bring the original Deora out with that.
Oh, Deora.
Can we do that in RLC, Jimmy?
Do it! Do it!
It has come to my attention lately that not all AcceleReecers fans are Hot Wheels collectors, and there's still a lot of people going like, wait, what is this? Can I get one of these? There's still people that are confused about this, so I want to break this down because this is actually really exciting for all of us because everyone is going to be able to get one. So, what is a Hot Wheels mainline? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. A Hot Wheels mainline is the main line. This is the main $1 Hot Wheels cars that you can get on the blue card back that have been around since 1968. It's the main series for Hot Wheels. This is, you know, there's like the premium and other series, but this is the main Hot Wheels. And these are the ones that are $1. Or give or take because of inflation now, but for 50 plus years, it was under $1. This is the best-selling and most popular line of Hot Wheels. If there's a store that carries even just one Hot Wheels SKU, it's going to be this one. You can find these anywhere. They are very highly produced. These things are in abundance. The only ones that are lower quantity are Treasure Hunts and Super Treasure Hunts, Zamax, Red Editions, you know, Kroger, exclusive colors, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Deora 2 that's coming in the main line soon, as well as the Deora 3. Now, before you jump out of your seat and go to your local Walmart and try to find one of these are not out yet. Now, mainlines release every year in case assortments. It's from case A to case Q. There's no I and there's no O because they look too much like ones and zeros. And each case assortment has a certain amount of cars in it and certain cars, and each one has its own dedicated super treasure hunt. So a lot of treasure hunters will talk about case assortments and when's this next case coming, the K case, the C case. A lot of mainline collectors keep track of that stuff. This Teku Deora 2 is coming out in case L. My stores currently are on like case F-ish. And I know case J usually comes out around midsummer. So this case L Deora 2 will probably be out around late summer-ish. And then the Deora 3, then and now counterpart, will be coming in the very next case, case M. And it's not the only chance you'll get to get this car because usually the cars carry over from case to case. So this car will probably be, and the Deora 3 counterpart will probably be in more cases. So that's what's cool. These are so highly produced. The supply, meets the demand hundreds of times over. Everyone is gonna be able to get one, even AcceleReece fans in other countries. Because there are AcceleReece fans all over the world besides the US. I know there's a lot of fans in South America. And now this is a Hot Wheels car, an AcceleReece car that they can get their hands on for $1. Because some of the original AcceleReece cars are even harder to get in other countries. I mean, some people have to import them and it's too expensive. Some of the cars just are too expensive and harder to find. Or for whatever reason, maybe it's just not as available to them. So now every AcceleReece fan finally has a chance to get an AcceleReece car. A lot of AcceleReece fans have expressed their concern about whether or not this guy is going to fall victim to scalping, but I don't think it's going to be scalped, and I'll tell you why. The world of collecting on the pegs is not the same as collecting on eBay. What most collectors care about these days are the licensed cars, the realistic cars. And when I go out to the stores, those are the cars that are usually missing. Anything that is even remotely unlicensed or even unrealistic, or hell, even some licensed cars that are just a tad bit unpopular, are left on the pegs and called peg warmers. A peg warmer used to be a car that would sit on the pegs for months or even years. But now people just use it for anything that doesn't fly off the shelf within 2 seconds of it being stocked. Every new release that is fantasy or unlicensed or whatever you want to call it, I've had no trouble finding. It's always the one thing I can consistently find on the pegs. And this guy is going to be no different. I know you're probably thinking, but Reece, it's that Teku graphic that makes all the difference. What if they know about AcceleReece? Listen, the kinds of guys who scalp $1 mainlines are not the kinds of guys who care about this hobby, let alone care about Hot Wheels history. These guys don't even know that the custom auto is supposed to be the car from the Redline packaging, let alone what AcceleReece is. They don't even know that this thing was built as a real car. I think 99% of scalpers and even big-time collectors would not bat an eye at this piece. And they definitely won't bat an eye at the Deora 3. Now let's say there's a scalper and he knows about AcceleReece and the prices, and he thinks he can buy all these up and get them for a much higher upcharge online. Even if someone wanted to scalp these, they couldn't. See, what creates value is low supply plus high demand equals lot of money. You have to have both. You can't have one or the other. If something is rare but no one wants it, it's not worth anything. And if everyone wants it, but there's a lot of it, it's still not worth anything. The latter is the case with this car. There's going to be enough supply of this guy to go around for everyone. It will meet the demand multiple times over. There is more supply than there is demand here. So for those of you who want one of these, you should be able to just go to your local retail store and just... So even if someone tried to list this up on eBay for $20, $50, $100, why would anyone pay it when you could just go to Walmart, pick it up for $1, or even pick it up from a different reseller for $3 to $5? You see what I mean? Just don't be stupid. Don't pay a lot of money for this. Don't do it. Something is only worth what one is willing to pay. So what you pay dictates the prices. So for everyone paying $150 for an original Power Rage, which is a first wave common, please stop. Seriously, fucking stop. These are going to be in such big abundance that they're going to be disposable. It's going to be awesome. You can use these for anything. Hell, you could throw them down the stairs, throw them at your neighbor, you could blow them up, or you could drill them open and customize them, wheel swap them, whatever you want. It's an AcceleReece car that I could carry around in my pocket anywhere I go and not have to worry about damaging it. This is a really great thing for our community. So you're probably thinking, Reece, where'd you get this one if it's not out yet? Well, this is an Unspun factory sample. So what is an Unspun? An Unspun Hot Wheels car is a Hot Wheels car that's stolen from the factory while it's on the assembly line before it gets to the part where the rivet posts are flared out to close up the car. So as you can see, the rivets are straight and the car just comes apart. Now I know what you're thinking, Reece, did you just say this thing is stolen from the factory? Yes. Sorry, Mattel. Hey, if you want help promoting this stuff, just give me a call. give me a ring-a-ding. Send me an email. So let's get down to the turntable and do a little review of this car. So here it is on the turntable, and this car, it looks really good. Even though it's only $1 car, the Tempo graphics are like, they're really nice. They got like, the blue has like almost like a metallic sheen to it. It looks really nice actually. Now you're probably wondering, hey, AcceleReece, what? I don't get the big deal. This car, it looks kind of crappy. It's missing all the details. Where's the blue canopy? You know, where's all the logos and whatnot? Where's the orange bed? And that's the thing. This is a mainline. Mainlines have manufacturing limitations to keep them at $1, so they can't do the full livery. Now the graphics are called Tempo graphics. Tampos are like stamps. They basically like stamp it on the side of the car. There's only so many surfaces you can actually put tampos on. I'm actually really surprised that they got the orange stripe to actually wrap around to the front. That's actually really interesting. I didn't know they could do that in mainlines. As well as that blue stripe there. So there's only so much tampo surface they can use, and there's only so many colors they can use. They can only use about 3 to 4, I think. As you can see, this one uses blue, orange. It looks like there's another shade of blue in there, and then the gray for the headlights. The original 36 AcceleReece cars actually used Tempo graphics. So if those cars were to be used for the main line, it wouldn't be a problem. It's just that the Teku Deora II Slingshot and the Metal Maniacs Roadrunner had their liveries designed for the movies and not really the toys. So they weren't designed with manufacturing limitations in mind. Honestly, I really like it. I think it looks really cool. It's like an alternate colorway of the Teku Deora II. It's kind of nice and like clean and simple. It's clean, bro, it's clean. I kind of like the more simplistic look of it. It's something a little different, you know? It's like Teku inspired, but not quite the exact Teku Deora II, like the NFT one. And yes, I know it is the retool, but you're just gonna have to deal with that. That original tooling, I don't think Hot Wheels has it anymore. Not to mention how manufacturing limitations have forced them to retool certain cars that have very complicated builds, and we'll get to that later. I actually have a original Deora II that's taken apart nearby, and since this one comes apart, we can actually compare the toolings, and I can show you the actual differences, because they're way different. So it's got a metal body, this sort of pearl white color. It's like a metal flake. It's nice and sparkly. It might be hard to, probably doesn't come up on camera. And of course, it's got shiny, nice sort of metallic-ish decals. It's got a plastic chrome base. It's got a chrome interior, a sort of aqua blue window piece. It's got OH5 wheels with chrome trim, black tires. You can see there's a Hot Wheels logo there where the T-Woo logo would be. Surfboards are not detachable, they are molded on. Again, I know a lot of people complain and they think that this tooling is inferior, but this is just, this is what we have now. This is what we have these days, and they're just, we're just gonna have to suck it up, man. I mean, I don't think it looks that bad, to be completely honest with you. The cool thing about this is that it's going to be so available that it's a great starting point for a custom. I mean, you can get some paint markers or some Sharpies and put the blue on yourself, put the black stripes and whatnot. I mean, you might need water slides for the logos, but still, it's a good jumping off point. There's so much you can do with this car. It has so much potential. I mean, it's basically like a canvas. So we're gonna do a little comparison with the NFT Deora II, the premium one. Now, the NFT one has a metal base, as you can see with the rear there. Still has that chrome interior with the chrome engine. It's got full decals. Now, the decals on this one, I believe it's like inkjet printing, which they use on the premium stuff. Of course, it's got the real riders with the 5-spoke, when this one has the plastic OH5 single-piece wheels. Yeah, it's basically just the Teku Deora II with a lot less details. But it's cool, it's different, I like it. The toolings are pretty much the same, aside from this one, the NFT one having the metal base. This one has a plastic base. Both the window colors, actually the window color is darker on the NFT one, which is interesting. It's more of a lighter aqua blue on the mainline version. Here's the bases of both of them, because as you can see, one is metal, one is plastic chrome. Gotta be careful how I hold this one because it wants to come apart. You can see the front bumper, like, yeah. Now I gotta try and put this back together. There it goes. Yeah, I'm sure you've noticed like the gap there when this is falling over, and it happens on the front too with this front bumper. It's not, the final release isn't gonna have those gaps. It's just like that because this is unspun. This one here is the last DOR2 that was released in the mainline. This was the treasure hunt one. Just wants to roll off my turntable. As you can see, it's got a plastic base with the rear end there. Plastic black base. It's got like smoked out windows. It's more sort of based on that the real life DOR2, the paint job that one has. As you can see, they are the same tooling. Since you want to roll off, I'll just let you go. And now we'll compare it to the original DOR2 from World Race, Wave Rippers. As you can see, completely different toolings. This is the original 1999 tooling with the removable surfboards and the flush windows. Kind of cool. JC pointed out how the headlights are painted on this new mainline car as well as the World Race one, the Wave Rippers. They both have the painted headlights, so yeah. So yeah, there's 21-year difference, right? I mean, we can make the comparisons of the toolings, but I'm gonna save that for the next bit. So we got Teku along the side, Hot Wheels logo, that Teku logo along the fender there. It wraps around the front. It's just white on the top. Yeah, you can see how the light is bouncing off those tampos there? It's like a metallic blue. It looks really nice. There's the chrome base and chrome interior. OH5 wheels, kind of has that late 2000s nostalgia with those OH5 wheels. And the DOR3 will soon be coming, and when that one hits retail, I'll probably get one and review it. I don't think I'm gonna get an unspun for that one. I know a lot of people are really excited about this DOR2 specifically. I gotta be careful how I hold it because it wants to fall apart. There's the base. Again, you can see the rivets are not flared out, so it's just straight. All right, let's get to the tooling comparison. Okay, so now I have an original 1999 tooling of the DOR2. As you can see, I've opened it up. It's wheel swapped. Those are not the original wheels. And I got the new one. Now the unspun is easy. We're gonna take them apart. This one has been drilled. If you wanna make Hot Wheels customs, as I was talking about earlier with the rivets, they're not screwed together, they're riveted together. And so you actually have to drill that rivet out with a drill and a drill bit. As you can see there, I've drilled out that metal rivet, which is a bit tedious to do. So we're gonna take apart the new one first, which is pretty easy. It just comes off just like that. So now Hot Wheels are usually, you have your body, you have your window piece, you have the interior piece, which is, these are usually plastic. You have your base, and then the wheels on the axles. What's interesting about these unspuns, which I actually didn't know about unspuns, is that these little tabs here that actually hold the axles in, they are not clamped down like they're supposed to be. Usually when I make customs and I want to get rid of the wheels, I have to snip those tabs off. And if it's a metal base, they're much harder to get off. But as you can see, they're actually up. So in the factory manufacturing process, they probably stamped them down. And this must have been taken off the line before those were stamped down. So these wheels actually just come right off. So we can do as many wheel swaps as we want. It's a good thing I have bags of these things from when I was customizing. I don't really make customs anymore, but yeah, let's cut to a whole montage of just Teku Deora II wheel swaps. How about it?
It's a Dunk Deora. A Dunkora.
All right, I know we got a little sidetracked with the wheel swappage, but as you can see, look how this car comes together. So you got the base here, and the bumper here, part of the base, the rear end with the exhaust pipes, part of the base. Then you got the interior piece here. So there's the interior. And then the engine in the back is part of the interior piece. And as you can see, there's little prongs that actually help hold the axles in place. So we're just gonna rest that right here. Then you got your window piece. And what's interesting about this tooling is that the rivet actually comes down, the rivet post actually comes down from the roof there, and it actually goes through the top of the window piece, which I actually did not know because I've never taken one of these apart before, this new tooling. And then you can see there's a hole right there. It just drops into place. You can sandwich it vertically together. And I made a video, I uploaded a video before about how manufacturing has changed, where they used to have a human being close the cars up together, but now they have a machine that does it and it vertically sandwiches the cars together. So all the cars that were, all the toolings that were designed with like tab and post, and as you can see, this original one only has one rivet. This grill here, which is actually part of the, you can see the part of the, I think that's the base poking through, that's like, acts like a tab, whereas on the new one, it's part of the body and it's not painted in. So these more complicated toolings had to be retooled to keep getting produced. So now let's take this one apart. You can see it's got one rivet, so we'll start from the back. Oh, this one kind of just, yeah, popped off together. So we got our body, and as you can see, that window piece, it's still in there, isn't it? Yeah, interesting, huh? I cannot push that through. That does not push down like the other one. You see how the rivet goes through? And if I let go of it, well, it didn't fall that time, but if I push it with my finger, it will fall right out, just like that. Not this one. So let's take a look in there. No rivet post, right? It actually kind of neatly tucks in there to where on the window lip there, the front of the window is actually sitting on top of the metal body. It's actually like kind of tucked in there, and in order to get it out, you kind of have to start from the back. Well, it just kind of popped out, but you have to start from the back. And if you want to put this in back in, you have to put it in like this. You have to go front first with it facing this way, and then push up the back and try to sort of line it up and then get it in there. It's really not easy to get in there. It's difficult to get back together. That's the point I'm trying to make. No, that's not working. Does it like pop in? It's actually tough to get back in there. I can't do it. So here's the interior pieces. As you can see, very different. You can see this comes down. This is part of the base on this one, whereas it's part of the interior on here. And you can see that bumper. That bumper is a separate piece. You see how it comes down like that? And that rivet there goes right through there. So this that bumper is a separate piece, whereas on here they just made it part of the base there. It's just kind of a lip. But on here it's much more elaborate, as you can see. So there's a comparison of the bodies. You can see that open hole in the grill there. Yeah, much different. Is it me, or is the new tooling like wider? The new one's like wider. Like they pretty much just re-sculpted the whole car, basically. It's like, which is really interesting. Are they like taller than each other? Not really, but they do look very different, especially in the front there. I don't know, just like, look how different they look. They're definitely just like two different castings completely. So I'm gonna take the axles out here and we'll actually do a comparison of the bases. So now you can see this is the grill here that pokes through. It's basically like a tab that closes that side of the car, which has been removed on the new tooling. So there's the bottom. So the reason why the new tooling has that window lip and is not flush like the old one is because the old one, you can actually see, look how the old one dips down. You see that little curve in there? You see that? The way the window sits in this one is so much more complicated. I wonder if that's why I couldn't get it closed, is because I actually have to get this window, the edge of the window, like over that little bump there. They are very different. It's really hard to see on camera, but you can see this one kind of faces down while this one is like, kind of juts upward a bit because of the way it sits in the casting. So now, let me show you, without the wheels, because the wheels just kind of makes it annoying, to put these toolings back together. So, here's the new one. We got the base, interior, the window. The window kind of just sits on there just like that. And then the body, right? And then, bam, just clicks together. Now if the axles were in place, it would close down the axles. But let's try to get this one back together. So, you got your base. You got your interior piece. Now, this bumper, you have to make sure that bumper goes over that. So you can see how the grill tucks in there, right? Then, you gotta get this thing back in here, which I'm having a lot of trouble with. Oh, it just popped up. Did you hear it? It like popped in there. It was really strange. Oh, my little breathe laugh just blew the wheels away. Okay, now to put this back together, you have to make sure that the grill pokes through. So you have to put it in like this. And this is much harder to do with the axles on. And then that rivet there will go through that gap. As you can see, that's, yeah. The grill is not poking through. Yep. All right. There we go. Okay, I just got that back in. This one has to go like that. Then, like that. Make sure that grill is poking through there. Get the rear on there, yep. Oh, nope. Didn't get it. It's not gonna click together. I gotta do it like this. Oh, then the axles popped out. Nope, still didn't work again. Are you seeing my point here? This saves a lot of money in labor if you can just streamline this process. This guy's not coming back together with those axles. It's much more difficult with the axles. Come on. Oh. It's kind of loose. Well, it's back together, but there's kind of a gap in the rear there. So as you can see, this one, much easier to put back together. And there was a lot of castings in the 2000s that were like this, that had very complicated toolings that came together in very complicated sort of ways. And they were engineering, they were feats of engineering. These, obviously this is like superior engineering to this, but this is cheaper. This is more efficient. There's nothing we can really do about that. Now, the whole rule, the whole 2 rivet rule that I was talking about earlier, it only applies to basics, which is mainlines, 5-packs, multi-packs. In premium, they can do this, because they have more money they can spend. So I think if they had this original tooling, they would have brought it back by now, but they haven't. I don't think they have the original tooling anymore, unfortunately. Honestly, I'd say if you're an AcceleReece fan, you should pick one of these up. I think we should support this. So show all your support to Mattel for doing this. I think it's really cool. And, if you see them, pick them up. I think it's important that us AcceleReece fans support this. This is not a paid advertisement. This is my own opinion. I think you should buy one. I really think you should. So you tell me what you think down in the comments below. Are you gonna buy this Deora 2? Are you gonna buy the Deora 3? I'm going to be buying dozens of both because this is just my favorite thing that Hot Wheels has done in a long time. So if you enjoyed this video, stick around for more content. Hopefully maybe we can make more content around this Deora 2, doing whatever with it. So stick around. We got more Cube reviews coming, more videos. Thank you for tuning in. I'm AcceleReece signing out on Tesla's Cube. Drive to survive.